Fierce fighting is continuing in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Government forces say they've captured the rebel stronghold of Rutshuru. Let's chat to our reporter, Tumaole Mohlaoli, who's on the line to us from the DRC. Tumaole, first of all, I mean, we've got these reports of tit-for-tat fighting. The forces there, the combined forces, appear to be able to defeat the rebels up to a point, and then rebels retake that ground shortly afterwards. What is the situation in Rutshuru right now?
Well, I can tell you that, Joanne, the conflict and the heightened tensions in the east of the country are sitting on everyone's lips here in the capital, Kinshasa. Diplomats here have been abuzz and talking about just what this means, this fighting, ahead, of course, of the bilateral meeting between South Africa and the DRC. President Jacob Zuma expects to definitely will meet with the president of the DRC, Joseph Kabila, and he's accompanied by his ministerial team. And these teams will be talking about the bilateral relations between both countries and how both countries can help each other, especially on the issue of security. Security is paramount on the agenda here in Kinshasa. Of course, everyone would have been watching the developments out in the east, a very, very turbulent region here. And the east, of course, is also quite key in terms of the developmental agenda for the DRC. The government here keen to stabilize the area. But as we've seen over the years, and especially if you think back a year ago when the M23 rebels, around December last year, in fact, the M23 rebels marching in on the capital of the East, Goma, and sweeping aside government forces, this sent a very strong statement to the DRC government that indeed it needed help to stabilize that area. That, of course, led then to the formation of the Forward Intervention Brigade, of which South Africa is playing a key role. So these are some of the issues that will be discussed in this bilateral here in Kinshasa. But certainly here in the capital, everyone's keeping a close eye on the goings-on out in the east. Of course, the defense force of the DRC has also been in the media saying that they've made some inroads in terms of pushing back rebel forces out in the east. And of course, it's been all over the TV here. The generals there parading their victories, walking through areas that were previously held by rebel forces. But we've seen in the past that the rebel forces tend to come in waves, and that once the government thinks it's got the upper hand, they always tend to come back. So the Kenya situation here, everyone's keeping a close eye on it, and it certainly will be high on the agenda in the bilateral.
Tumaole, can you give us a sense of where peace talks between the DRC government and the M23 rebels lie at this stage? We understand on Monday there was a suspension. Are those talks going to continue?
Well, diplomats here are saying that the peace talks are at a very, very tenuous stage at this moment. Basically, when you look at what has been happening out in the east with the government forces taking this offensive fight to the rebel groups, it certainly would suggest that the diplomacy side of things has been put on the back burner. Now, South Africa is here and is trying to a process whereby all parties can come to the table and try and resolve whatever disputes there are. However, the government here in Kinshasa has, on numerous occasions, stated very categorically that it will not negotiate with the so-called rebel groups, because they are of the opinion that these rebel groups are being sponsored by a neighboring Rwanda, a charge that Kigali has denied to this day. Now, with the situation as it stands, it seems that it's a do-or-die situation, because now, with having taken the various areas, rebel strongholds out in the east, as is being reported here in Kinshasa, the government has certainly made its intentions known that it will not tolerate any more rebel activity in that area. Of course, we wait to see just what role the Forward Intervention Brigade will play. We are out here in the DRC covering the bilaterals, but of course, our key mission is to head out to the east and to see exactly what this Forward Intervention Brigade is going to achieve and what role it will play in terms of policing the area and trying to bring some stability to a region that's key, really, in the developmental agenda of the DRC going forward. The eastern part of the country is very rich, very, very rich minerally, and this is one of the key conflict fuel. One of the things that are fueling the conflict is the mineral riches in the country, and this is why it is so key that it is stabilized.
Tumaole Mohlaoli, thanks very much for filling us in there live to us from Kinshasa. Your headlines.
News that moves. eNCA.com.